What made you make that call from having like how you have now a full-time job and doing My Paper Pigeon? When you jumped in completely, what was the spark for it?
I think part of it was just corporate fatigue in Japan.
Burnout. Okay.
It wasn't exactly easy fitting into the Japanese corporate, environment in the beginning, in the first 2 years. And I was not really happy working. It was a lot of just trying to put myself, the best of myself out there, representing Singapore in a way. So I think that 2 years of doing that kind of tired me out. And I thought, and I really enjoyed, painting and drawing, and that was probably, I'm going to quit this. I'm going to try this on before I have a family.
Welcome back to the Click Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. We often romanticize the idea of dropping everything, moving to a country like Japan, and living as a freelance artist. But today's guest is here to take off the rose-tinted glasses. Since relocating to Japan in 2012, Janelle has pivoted from science to marketing to navigate language barriers and establish herself within Tokyo's highly competitive creative industry. Today, she is an incredibly talented illustrator who believes in a controversial truth. Sometimes, keeping your corporate day job is the ultimate key to artistic freedom. We're going to talk about the reality of living abroad, surviving creative burnout, and the profound realization that brought her back to Singapore. Now, please welcome Janelle. For joining us today, could you just let us know what you do and what your profession is?
In the day, I'm actually a marketing professional at an audio company. And during the weekends, I do my illustration as a freelance illustrator.
Your company, My Paper Pigeon, could you tell us what it means and what's the story behind that?
So it all started with me drawing, painting postcards and sending it to people and, actually selling these postcards in the markets. And I realized it's like a piece of paper sending a message across. So I thought maybe, branding it as paper with a pigeon aspect, as pigeon used to send messages in the olden days.
Your art style, how would you describe it? And what kind of inspiration did you get?
It's more of lifestyle travel and, things that people can relate to. So what I see and what I do, and also things that happen every day.
So when you first started doing the postcards, what was the kickoff, that kind of a spark that inspired you to start doing these postcards?
I always had the interest in painting and drawing. I always wanted to do it as my, full-time, career. I didn't get a chance to. And I thought after starting that, I've got people getting me to do, take on small, tiny projects at first. And I thought maybe I could, actually take this further. When I was in Japan, when I first started this, I didn't have much time to actually juggle both, a day job and doing this in the side. So I thought I should actually take tiny gamble of quitting my day job and focusing on this one straight, though I still had to get a part-time job just to sustain my visa status back in Japan. So so just spending more time in this project, in this project of mine.
So you mentioned that you started off writing creating these postcards. So how many years did it take before you can do My Paper Pigeon proper?
Honestly, I'm still in the process. But, to actually get people to know me was probably around 3-4 years off.
So you have enough portfolio by then, you've done
Small, tiny projects in the beginning and building my portfolio as I go.
You mentioned that you actually lived in Japan. These days, I think in the 2020s, Japan is the destination for people to go to. And I think a lot of our friends, Singaporean friends, they all have this dream of moving to Japan, living there. Could you give us a little reality check? Grass is not always green.
It's fun for the first year because we don't pay taxes for the first year.
Just because of the tax area.
But the thing hits when you need to start working and you need to start schooling your kid in Japan also. And just finding your way around things. And the second year is where it all kicks in because that's where taxes part comes in, and then you have to go to, file the admin stuff with the offices, which then you will realize Singapore is super efficient. It never happens in Japan. I still bring my license, my, employment pass, whatever it is, everything needs to be in the pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, as you go. It's very analog.
I have heard that, Japan, it's great to travel to, but living there, being part of their work system, especially in the big cities, and you were in Tokyo, right? How is it like?
It's a big city. People have no time for you. Work is work. It's very rare that you get friends from work. They just work, and when it's time's up, they cut off and they just leave. And it's not really in the context. I mean, you can't really, text, like WhatsApp someone after work. I mean, no one's gonna.
Want to grab dinner or like?
Yeah, I mean, you can grab dinner as a team. After that, yeah, not as a friend. It's a very clear cut between a colleague and a friend.
Sure, there's like, the language barrier would have been like kind of crazy for you as well. Did you learn Japanese there or did you learn it back in Singapore before you moved?
I learned very basic Japanese back in poly days, so it's probably just sufficient for me to get around town, not enough for me to work. So I basically learned everything while I was working in Japan. Not easy.
That must have been hard. Like what kept you going? Like, oh, you want to stay and like make it work.
It was really hard at first. My first job, I was told to do cold calling in Japanese. I mean, I was struggling. I was just reading out from script and pieces of paper and just getting appointments for my company. What kept me going is that, for the first time in my life, I don't want to just give up something because it was tough. I've been always like, oh, it's tough. I don't want to do it anymore. But I think this is the only, opportunity I have to, be away from home and, carve, like, really make a path out of where I want to go. Yeah.
Right. Were you looking for these art or graphics related jobs back then as well? Or?
No, I was just looking for something that sponsors my visa. So basically anything that pays and, gets my documents to the embassy, I'm fine. Yeah.
And how did you stumble into the marketing roles?
I used to major in biomedical science back in school. And when I went to Japan, I realized, I mean, I can't do scientific language and the terminology in Japanese for sure. So I had to settle for something that is second best of my interest, which is marketing. I thought it was pretty fun to do like social media marketing and all that. Back then it was so much simpler. There's no videos, pure Instagram, pure Facebook, the olden days. But yeah, so that was how I actually got into digital marketing and marketing it.
You did biomedical here in Singapore.
Medical. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. Like,
ever work in the field here in Singapore?
I was in the pharmaceutical firm in about 2 odd years, and also like 2 more years in healthcare in Singapore.
Completely switched when you went to...
Yeah, like I was close to 30 and I thought like, oh, this is like, is now or never.
What made you want to try that? Of all the other countries available and all?
I had a meeting in Japan. Like it's like a company meeting. So my boss knows that I speak a tiny bit of Japanese. And so
Conversational.
Yeah, conversational. So he put me in charge of like the event venue and all that. And I realized I couldn't even say move the table there, move the chairs there. I cannot have like a roll of, whatever it is. So I thought like I'm forgetting the language. So I wanted to like, get back there and learn it. And so I thought, well, I don't want to pay for school. I just want to go and work and earn a salary as well as learn the language. Well, it's either Hong Kong or Tokyo to be. I mean, it's close to home. It's Asia. I am very Asian in terms of food, so
Can't go to like Europe or like Australia.
So I can have occasional Western food, but yeah. But Hong Kong is going to be similar to Singapore, in my opinion. So I thought, Japan would be cool. You can venture out to the country in a weekend. So I thought, yeah, learn the language, see the places. Why not Japan? Yeah.
So you managed to get that marketing role and you stuck with it. You didn't have any qualifications, right? How did you get like the job? Especially in like Japan, like how did you stumble on
I
there?
think it was pure luck. They always want people to actually deal with global headquarters and global offices. So that's where I come into the picture to, speak English and Chinese, though my Chinese is not something to be proud of. My first job in Japan, yes, I found it through online, the Japanese job board.
And the marketing one, how did you find that job?
I found it because I went to an agent. I told them like I'd really like doing digital marketing and I would like to explore it. So they got me in-house to do it.
Because, we hear that Japan is hyper fast, stress levels are crazy once you're in the workforce. Did that affect you? Or did that spark and that spawned the art outlet that you wanted to do?
I think that sparked the whole art thing in me because that was the only outlet I had to, de-stress in a way rather than drinking. I mean, it's a big drinking
Culture as well, yeah.
trend, but it's not something you want to pick up.
So you managed to stay away from that, or like?
I think I trained up my alcohol limits in Japan, but that's not, where I want to spend my youth destroy my youth to like went back to art. I found it very therapeutic. Like start painting, I start to forget about stress and all that. I start to feel more at ease, and what I paint is actually how I am feeling inside. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I just kept on going.
What kind of like, artists or other mediums of like art form inspire you for your stuff?
I think a few artists like Edward Hopper and Yayoi Kusama, they do inspire me, but I try not to look at too many artists' work. I tend to get influenced easily, and I thought that might destroy like what I originally.
Your own voice.
Yeah.
Once you started My Paper Pigeon, what kind of projects did you get to work on that sort of like significant and made you realize like, hey, this is my calling. I want to do more of this. Like,
There are a few. One is definitely like workshops teaching you and I how to draw, how to paint, and also like projects with Body Shop, like Monocle. They were very interesting, and they definitely are like, I think the projects that make me want to, do more of, yeah.
so Body Shop, is it like a campaign, or what did you design for them?
Yeah, so it's an upcycling project, I remember, and I had to hold a workshop for like 20 KOLs in Japan.
Japanese KOLs.
No, from Asia. So the event took place in Tokyo, so that was where I came in. So I hosted like local celebrities too to paint on the the jars that they finish using to upcycle and make it into like maybe an accessory container or something like that.
How did you manage to find proper friends there in Tokyo?
Actually, it can get pretty lonely unless you have like friends within your community, like Singaporean friends.
Yeah, did you search out for like Singaporeans?
I have like a very tiny group of Singaporean friends.
Met there, or you've known from?
I met there.
How? How did you usually meet them?
Basically through social media, actually, and also through friends' introduction. It's not easy to meet up because Tokyo is big, it's huge. Everyone takes like an hour to travel to like central Tokyo. So even if you have friends, it's not like, oh, can we go coffee at, at the cafe? No, it doesn't happen. You have to plan like, yeah.
Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm 100% introvert.
Introvert. So that's gotta be like tough trying to make, new friends there, like finding, especially with the culture there, right? So how did you manage to find non-Singaporean Japanese friends?
Usually through work, but not 100% friend. You can just keep in touch on Instagram and all that. You will realize even if you want to, hey, do you want to, go for coffee next weekend? And like, oh, I'll get back to you. And they don't get back to you. I mean, maybe they don't like me, but anyway, but I don't know about it. I don't want to know about that. But I asked most of my friends, they also told me that, they have trouble finding, good Japanese friends. Like us in Singapore, like we just like, hey, let's go for coffee. Like it doesn't happen that quickly. Yeah, it takes time, long time.
It's like a very segregated type of lifestyle where at work and the way you communicate people is just that thing, and that they have a very distinctive line, and then their social life is very different as well. We do hope that like sometimes, right, like Friday evening 7 o'clock you're about to have dinner and like work messages coming in, it's like, hey. So in Singapore it's like that, but in Japan I guess they shut off there. What is the working hours like? Is it still 9 to 5, or is it?
It's 9 to 5 for most companies. I think I was lucky to get into companies with a flexible work arrangement. So I probably do hybrid work a few days a week. And then flexible meaning I can go in at 10, but still, finish up the work in the end of the day.
I'm sure you had your group there. Where did you find them?
Found my group in, like going to events, actually. Because I realized, I mean, if I don't go out there, nobody's going to come to me, which is very natural. So yeah, I do attend like, like creative events to, go out, meet people. And also, yeah, and coming back to Singapore to meet local creatives and all that. That's how I found like, my own circle, yeah, my own community.
What was like the key things that you really liked about Japan?
Taking a train for an hour and go into nature. Nature is very close when you're in Japan, yes. So that is the one thing that I love about Japan. If you compare dollar to dollar, I think we get more like fresher produce and all that in the supermarkets and all that. It's a better quality of life for the same amount of money spent, and just better nature.
You keep going back to nature. You're like, what are the nice nature like parts of Japan that you usually go and like visit?
During weekends, I do go out for a drive because car is affordable in Japan, not that expensive.
Is it like affordable to drive into Tokyo as well? Because
It's definitely expensive to drive into Tokyo because parking is very
Limited as well,
limited in Tokyo. Definitely better if you rent a car and drive out of Tokyo, go into like the lesser known neighborhood.
that's sort of like your go-to thing to relax, like just to drive out to nature.
And yeah, exactly. Like during the weekends, I would drive the car out to like say Miura Peninsula, which is slightly further off Kamakura. I've been in Japan for 13 years, but I've never really toured Kamakura because of all the people that are there. Like it's very touristic.
Very touristy, like too touristy. Okay.
Yeah.
So 13 years in Japan. Even for the later parts of it, like what kept you there? Like what made you like, I'm gonna stay here instead of coming back to Singapore?
I was supposed to be there for like a year or two. And then I met my husband and I have my son. So I came back because I'm planning to have my kid be schooled in Singapore because he's turning 7 next year, which is primary 1. So I thought, coming back slightly earlier this year would give him like a year to settle in.
You prefer the education system here in Singapore?
Not very popular opinion. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like coming back to competition, right?
Because I mean, you heard about how kids are super stressed here with like the studies and all.
Yeah.
How was it like in Japan? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, in Japan, they don't really start till primary school. So in preschool, basically they're just playing around, like in the playground, in the parks, and the sand pits, and learning. And they're mostly learning life skills, which is I think it's really interesting. I think it is something that I probably think be nice to put into the preschool program.
What kind of life skills?
Like folding your clothes, like sweeping the floor, like mopping the
house
floor,
chores,
like
yes.
yes, like, and they don't make it look as if like it's a pain in the, so they make it fun. So honestly, the kids in Japan, they would willingly help you out with tasks that you task them at home.
Is your son helping you out? Or?
Oh, he is. He likes to wash my bowls and plates and clean the sink. Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah.
It must have been like quite a big decision for you guys to move back to Singapore. What kind of challenges did you face?
I've not faced challenges yet, actually. I mean, for the system.
And your husband's like Japanese.
Yes, my husband's Japanese, and honestly, he's still in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not in Singapore yet because he has his career in Japan and his his business in Japan. So he told me he needs time to settle his stuff before moving here, which it's a good thing that he prefers to settle his stuff back in Japan before moving here completely. Coming back to home is pretty comfortable, but yet still lots of changes.
Were you guys visiting regularly while you were living in Japan as well?
Yes, we do come back like hopefully like once or twice a year, depending on my holidays. And
so it's not like a complete kind of shift. So the main motivation is for you to come back to Singapore is for your kids' like education. It's very interesting. Do you see yourself moving back to Japan after he's like studies and maybe NS here?
Maybe like if he is not keen in doing secondary school, I might move back. But as long as he's in being in Singapore, I think I'm good.
You mentioned that like one of the best things about Japan that you love is nature. How did you find about the nature here in Singapore? We got a lot of greens here as well.
The urban greens is something Japan doesn't have. If you realize,
you have to go outside, right? The city.
1 hour later, you see the trees. Urban greens is something that I really like about Singapore.
Okay, you go to the parks and all.
Yeah, the parks are pretty nearby, and we have pretty decent playgrounds for kids. It's everywhere. In Japan, you have to find some.
Yeah, I noticed also like you don't see the playgrounds. Now you're settled. You have your career as the digital marketing. Where does the inspiration come from now to create your art? Because I do believe that art comes from some in a way, some sort of frustration that you need to let that creativity out. What about now? What inspires you to still keep on doing the type of artwork you do?
I am still drawing because it's a very good avenue for me to de-stress also,
Okay.
and also paint a different perspective of life in Singapore, which might be an interesting thing to the Japanese audience, and also might be interesting to the Singaporean audience for like as me viewing Singapore after 10 years.
That'll be a cool perspective for you to like, put into art.
Really small stuff like daily stuff, like maybe the bus, like maybe like East Coast Park, small stuff like maybe your desi, yeah.
The minus.
Yeah, with the minus, correct, yeah.
For your artwork, when you're doing these, your main audience, is it more the Japanese audience or local audience, even for when you first started as well?
When I first started, it was more Singaporean audience, and it slowly shifted towards to a little bit more Japanese audience, but still it's probably about 7 to 3 Singapore and Japan.
Singapore 7?
Singapore 7.
Is your husband into art as well?
No, my husband is into human resource.
That's a different type of art.
Yeah, different type of art. Yeah. Human art.
Yeah. Human art. I wanted to ask, like, did your kid, like, pick up, like, your artistic streak as well? Like, what's he into? Does he draw?
Yeah, he likes to draw. He likes to draw trains and cars. And
did your son inspire you? Like, have you created artwork inspired by him or inspired by his artwork as well?
Yes, definitely. Like he likes to draw trains a lot, and I also started to go observe trains and also
In Singapore, like
back in Japan.
Back in Japan. Okay.
Sometimes we have weekends art jam sessions that we just bring out the paints and draw fishes, and for example.
Oh, nice. Have you ever incorporated like your son's artwork into your artwork?
He drew something, and I thought it would be nice to project it into like t-shirt. So I actually embroidered for the first time in my life, like something on a t-shirt, it was like graphic of me hugging him. Yeah, and we did it together, so it was quite meaningful. Yeah.
So Janelle, you created this special little book for your kid. Can you tell us the story behind it? Like why?
So I created this book for my son because I wanted him to be exposed to different cultures, and also for kids in general to be exposed to different cultures. Yeah, and also I just want to do something that's English and Japanese, and also introducing different food, different ways of saying yummy.
This is interesting. It says first edition published in September 2019.
Yeah, it was when I had him in my tummy.
I was gonna say like, oh, so the moment you were pregnant with him, you started creating this.
That was the time where I still had time to sit down and think of how to present this idea onto a zine. I call this a zine because it's not published massively. I had this in Takamatsu in southern part of Japan, in the book fair, and also in Taiwan when I showed there.
Does he like frogs, or do you like frogs?
I was doing a research on children's books, and they had lots of rabbits, lots of caterpillars, butterflies, and bears and all that. So I thought, why isn't anybody drawing frogs? So I just drew frogs.
Drew frogs. They're very cute. Like the illustrations. You have the chicken rice one as well here. There's like xiaolong bao, like.
I was working with a lot of food clients at that point of time, so I thought I would incorporate food illustrations into children's books.
And it's talking about Mama's stew. So that's his favorite, the little character's favorite meal. Do you make a badass stew?
Oh, I do make stews.
Is that like your kid's like favorite as well?
No, he doesn't eat my stews because he is a very clean eater. He eats basically
Japanese part of it.
Yes, very Japanese for diet.
Right.
So anything that is too stews are more heavy in taste, like a bit more on the salty side.
Right.
So he doesn't like it.
How is he finding the food here in Singapore, like chicken rice and all?
He is still very new to the food here in
Adapting.
Singapore, adapting definitely. So for those who are moving back to Singapore, don't worry, your kid will be eating in school because of peer pressure.
Right. Okay.
So he eats fish bihun in school, but
Fish
not out of
bihun.
school.
Okay.
So,
What's his favorite local dish?
kueh tutu, I think.
Okay.
Does it sound local enough? Kueh tutu?
What about yours? Like, what's your favorite local dish?
Oh, popiah.
Popiah.
I
Okay.
love popiah. Yeah.
You can't find popiah in Tokyo, right?
It's something that you won't want to make just for
Just
the sake of
buy.
eating it. Just buy.
Just buy.
Just go to
Okay.
auntie and buy.
Do you still do just postcards, or what type of like formats are you doing mostly these days? Apart from the bigger projects like campaigns and all, but on your own, like what type of artwork do you do?
I do mostly paper and digital prints, and I'm
Postcards?
trying to move into something that you can like use on a daily basis and not just something that's decorative. As I age, I find that I have to create things that have a purpose for it, not just putting it up on the wall and decorating your space. It must be something that I see that if I buy this, if I get this thing, I should be able to use it. Yeah, the application part of things is getting into me recently. Yeah.
I saw like in some of your art, like you drew xiaolongbaos, chicken rice, any other cuisine, like local cuisine delicacies that you have drawn or you would like to draw, and you like zhijia or the taipang stuff.
Yeah, I did draw a chili crab, and I did work with a local restaurant before, for their menu. It's actually a Michelin restaurant. Many years back, carrot cake to your chili crab to your laksa.
Laksa as well. Have you introduced all these cuisines to your kid?
No, because they're mostly spicy. Yeah.
So he doesn't take spicy food
Yeah.
as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, the closest Singapore food that he is exposed to is soup bihun.
So not the bak chor mee or the whole.
Not the bottom. Yeah.
What about the Malay Indian food like Maggi goreng and all of that?
Well, I loved Maggi
Prata.
goreng. I love prata, but prata, yes, he actually tried prata on his first trip to Singapore.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think I told him it's just Singapore's pancake, and he gladly eat. It's the kosong with the sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
Must have the sugar, yeah.
Did the your day job, I would say, like marketing, did that help pushing My Paper Pigeon into more of a bigger presence online?
I think
you
financially,
use that?
yeah.
Well, what type of like strategies did you incorporate into pushing My Paper Pigeon?
I don't think I have a specific strategy.
Was it more like organic that is just like
Yeah, just more organic and more impromptu. Yeah.
That's cool. That speaks a lot about your artwork as well. That people just like love it.
Like I think if you think too much about it, it gets to like in a certain direction, and it restricts you from thinking out of the box, so to speak. Yeah.
And do you still plan to keep this double life of doing your day job and then still creating for My Paper Pigeon?
I plan to keep like working a day job and keeping this on the side because I think that's a very good balance.
Right.
I used to do it full time, the
My
pigeon
Paper
part,
Pigeon. Okay.
and then it kind of got out of hand because I was constantly working on artworks, and I realized that I drew things that I didn't want to show people anymore.
Is it because of clients?
Clients were,
You
yeah.
have to do things that you don't feel like doing.
Yes.
It became work.
It
Like how
became
people
work.
say it,
Yeah,
right?
yes. It became work. I drew things. I took on projects that it's not what I would draw. Like I started drawing cars, like shiny cars, and like and that's not what I want to put out in my portfolio, in my brand. Like I can do it like for fun, but not like branding myself as like a car illustrator. No, I'm not anywhere near that. Yeah.
The artist ego and the client requests and all of that. How do you balance it?
It's very hard to balance. You have to tell them that this is like, try to sell them your website saying that, hey, this is my style. Yeah, this is what I do. If you want a certain specific style, I can try my best doing it for you, but it's not the best.
And then you wouldn't put it on your portfolio and all that as well.
Yes, exactly.
What was the most work-like project that you had to do? If you can share.
I can share, like it was for a Japanese car company. But the project was not based in Japan. It was from the Chinese office. So when you work with China, it's a 24/7. No. they don't sleep. They don't stay. It was during COVID, I think, where a lot of artwork became digital. It was a very rushed deadline. I've got, I don't know, 20 pieces of artworks to be due in like a week or something like that, because they have like a very quick turnaround. And if you don't do it, somebody else can do it. Like, make me stop and like, let me think about this again. Like, why am I doing, like, why did I start a pigeon in the first place? Am I going to keep doing this and, end up just putting out work that I don't want to show people?
Is that like your first burnout from My Paper Pigeon?
Yeah, that was my first burnout, I think, yeah.
How did you recover from that?
They had another project coming in for me.
Company.
Yes, because once they know that you're flexible, they will just keep using you. I rejected the project and I went back to corporate. So I started looking for a job again. And I thought, well, that was really timely, because then my son was eligible for, childcare, and then I had time to go back and reset in the workplace,
Right.
and then come back and do being a mom. And after he sleeps, I become an illustrator.
You're a mother as well. That still like takes up a lot of time, and then you have your day job and art. How was the system like at your home and back in Japan? Did your husband help out, or how do you juggle all three roles?
I think I'm lucky because my husband has his own business, so he normally works at home. So that's why I can be the one going out to work and come back and cook dinner and all that. But the thing about Japan is we don't have the helper culture in Japan, unlike in Singapore. So everything we do it ourselves. We also don't have the grandparent culture coming over and help. No, we don't have that too. So basically everything is really within ourselves.
When you work, where there's a deadline and there's still chaos going on, how do you center yourself and try to focus? Like, is it like something that you learned over the years, or?
I think it's just a switch when you become a mom. Like when he sleeps, okay, done. Let's go do the next one and get to bed. Yeah.
That's too bad. Are you more of a night owl? You work till late at night for your art projects?
I'm someone who starts something and I cannot finish it before that thing is done. Yeah, so I mean, that's a very dangerous part.
I know. Like, how was your sleep schedule like?
It was like some days I go to bed at 3 and wake up at 7-ish. Yeah, not too bad, but yeah.
For art, I'm curious, did you start by painting with hands, or was it straight away digital?
I was always hands first. I was very strong in watercolor and I must say color pencil, I guess. Yeah.
What do you prefer now after doing digital for so long?
At the end of the day, I still prefer analog, like watercolor and acrylic. But in this day, I am a mom. I have a day job. I'm only painting probably like 2 hours in the day, in the night if I'm lucky. So a lot of times I just take on to my iPad.
Take the easel out of the paint and all that. They'll be like,
Probably I have no time taking out paints and waiting for it to dry and all that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good segue into, since you're doing digital art. What's your take on AI art? Did you see like a dip in your art business?
Oh, definitely.
How did it affect you? Like when did you start noticing, or what were the signs?
I mean, basically, it's not just AI. I think it's after COVID, things started getting quiet. But it didn't really affect me because I was, all busy already. But I mean, I've heard many friends that saying, no, like it's getting quiet. And I actually do feel like I don't get as much inquiries as before.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that definitely, and also AI coming real strong in recent years. Yeah.
Does your day job ever affect your your art in a sense that like you have like client like deadlines for My Paper Pigeon, but because of your day job as well, I'm sure there's like quite demanding here and there, and you couldn't create as much as or as good as you wanted to for your art projects. Did that happen?
Definitely, like I have to turn down projects that have too tight a deadline.
Right.
And things that are too like takes up too much time. Definitely, it has affected the kind of projects I take in, the kind of projects that I will want to do.
Do you think that having a day job, even though it gives you that security, but is it pulling back your art as an artist?
But as an artist, I think having a day job allows me to not worry about my wallet, my finances, and just keep creating things that I want to create. So I don't have to think about the profit side of things. So I mean, it might not be something that people buy in, like, want to see in the mass market, but it's something that I want people to see.
It's a very mature and nuanced take on it because, this whole stereotype of like that starving artist and then like they create the best work, but they are literally starving kind of a thing.
But for me, if I was starving, I wouldn't have the freedom to go and see things myself. I mean, everything is expensive. You need the time and the freedom to go out to see spaces, to see things and be inspired. And if you're starving, I mean, it's just in that little circle that you have. I mean, in my personal opinion. So I think to a certain extent, we must be comfortable so that we can create.
So that whole, follow your dreams advice of quitting your full-time job to completely jump into your art and your passion might not be a good call.
No. It's a good call if you have substantial clients coming in and out and you know how to control your time, you know how to work that marketing thing on. And basically, yes, depends on from individuals to individuals, I guess.
What made you make that call from having like, like how you have now a full-time job and doing My Paper Pigeon? When you jumped in completely, what was the spark for it?
I think part of it was just corporate fatigue in Japan.
It's like a little burnout, but okay.
It wasn't exactly easy fitting into the Japanese corporate, environment in the beginning, the first 2 years. And I was not really happy working. It was a lot of like just trying to put myself, like the best of myself out there, like representing Singapore in a way. So I think that 2 years of doing that kind of tired me out. And I thought, and I really enjoyed, painting and drawing. And that was about, oh, I'm going to quit this. I'm going to try this on before I have a family.
How long did that last before you went back to the
I was in that till, so it was probably about
okay.
5 years.
5 years? Okay.
5 years, I
You
guess.
managed to do My Paper Pigeon fully for 5 years.
Or 5, 6 years maybe. I can't remember the exact.
Do you use like AI tools now in your work as well to help, not to create, but
In marketing, yes, but not in.
like in what way can they want to like?
It would be like idea,
Okay.
like the ideation part and also the research part. I use a lot of AI and to maybe kickstart my thinking process. Yeah. Yeah, thought process and all that. And for illustration wise, I don't really use AI to be honest. At all, at all. Yeah. I don't even use Chat GPT for like to ask him about questions.
Now that like, you've been through this for over a decade, like as an artist, any advice that you have for young illustrators coming up? Like right now, they're just, coming out of art school. They're looking at it, especially with the AI generation coming in. What's your advice for them?
Portfolio, like having solid skills and also skills that are applicable and into any industry, and also having like maybe having a sort of day job. If
You want to tell them to actually do it sort of like a part-time first.
I mean, it depends on what kind of like creative position that you're looking at. Like for example, graphic designer, I probably guess you can get a day job, but seriously work on portfolios and skills. But if you say, for example, an artist, like a fine art person or like an illustrator like me, I mean, you can do a day job till your the thing that you want to do takes off into a steady. It's going to be very tough in the first phase because you're juggling the day job and also the bulk of the freelance work. And before you can make sure that like, oh, this is going to be substantial.
Should they check with like somebody else or industry peers or a mentor whether they're actually good enough? Like, did you ever had that?
I think just go out, talk to people and see how
Show
people,
your art.
yeah, show your art and actually get people to feedback on what they think honestly about your art. I mean, I've got tons of rejection.
You didn't go through the traditional art school or like even getting any type of like cert, but you straight up
Yes.
got into. Is it like, important to actually have this killer portfolio? Is it more important than going through learning through the traditional route? So which one do you think?
I think both. To me, I am envious of people who went through the traditional route of going to design, art school, whatever it is, because that's where you get connections. That's where you share your, what you do, and people see your work two-way. So, which I didn't have, which I wish I had. Yeah.
Can you walk us through the evolution of your art, like My Paper Pigeon, from the founding of it and to it right now, today? How has it evolved?
I used to draw very kiddish Christmas cards, like, using markers and pens and markers and, doing custom notebooks, cover design, which I think I still do keep some of them at home actually, but I cringe whenever I take them out. Like, oh my God, this is the thing I do. So the thing, I put it in the cupboard and I don't touch it.
But that's part of like how you grew, right?
And now it's more like calm, and yeah, I use less colors, more solid painting techniques than just, markers and pens.
What can we expect of My Paper Pigeon in the near future, like within this year?
And I'm looking at doing like private small like classes for kids and mummies, like painting sessions, just, easy come, easy go, have painting session, have some pizza, and play.
Art jam.
Yeah, jam sessions, very cozy ones.
Are you planning on like any exhibitions or publications and stuff?
Planning on like an adoption drive of my old artworks. I've got a lot of artworks that I painted for clients.
I like how you call it adoption drive.
Adoption drive, yeah, because
babies.
yeah, because they're my babies. Yeah.
Since you've been, doing this thing for over a decade and lived in Tokyo, back in Singapore, throughout your journey becoming a mom as well, what is your definition of success as an artist?
Success as an artist means to me that I have my own style, that I can paint things that I want to do, like I have the freedom to create. That is success to me.
Do you plan to do this until you're physically unable to, or do you plan to retire from art in the near future? It's something.
I don't plan to retire from. I think art is something that will be with me for my entire journey on Earth. So, yeah, definitely. Like, it's not something that I will retire, and it's something that will grow with me in time. I think that's going to be interesting 10 years down the road. Like, what am I going to be painting?
Do you plan to, in a way, kind of subtly influence, like as parents, like, because I have a kid as well. I influence him on certain things that I'm passionate about, like photography. I make sure that here's a camera, play around with it. So at least give them that taste, Like, how do you plan to do that with your kid? Just start drawing?
Yeah, and like just start drawing, giving him like themes to do to draw on, and different mediums. Yeah, and also he does play with the iPad, but just on that, the drawing apps.
Are you very strict on your the screen time?
I do see a good effect on it, like on him, because he don't ask for the screen, unless I say, oh, why not let's watch like YouTube for like while I cook dinner. Then he was like, oh, okay. He doesn't like say, where's my video?
I'm envious about that. I got to control my kids' screen time, like. So rapid fire questions time. First one, obvious. Tokyo or Singapore? Which city has like, a better food scene?
Tokyo.
I gotta agree with that as well. iPad, drawing, or watercolor on paper?
And definitely on paper.
Who is your ultimate artistic like idol? Is it Kusama or more like Hopper?
Hopper.
Why? I'm curious.
I find it very calming to look at his artworks. Very peaceful and at ease. It's just a sense of like, I don't know, like emptiness that nobody does on paintings.
What was the first artwork that you saw and you were like, wow?
Nighthawks, yes. Yeah, the one in the bar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one, yeah. That was when I was like, oh, this is very interesting. Like, I feel like nobody paints a scene like that. Like, it's up to you to decipher if it's a happy scene Or if it's like a lonely, a sad scene.
If you could use only 2 colors for a painting for the rest of your life, what colors would it?
Oh, definitely blue and yellow.
Any reason behind that?
No, I just love the yellow. I own a lot of yellow stuff.
What's the most beautiful season in Japan for you to paint?
Autumn, definitely. Spring is pretty, but it's quite difficult. If you realize it's very difficult to paint sakuras.
Do you truly subscribe to the follow your passion mantra? Do you think the focus should ultimately be on stability, both financial and also mentally?
I think it's a balance. There's no right or wrong answer, like, which is which. But I think if you're, as long as you're happy with your balance, your cocktail in life, I think that's key.
There's a common belief that if you're working in the field you study, that time is like kind of lost. Looking at your path, do you agree? Or if you go back, would you skip the whole science marketing part and just do straight up art?
No, I will still do science. I think science is what made me go out and see the world. And I mean, science was what led me to my degree, which allowed me to apply for a visa to Japan.
Right, it all works.
It was like, it's all connected.
One word to describe AI generated art.
Similar. If you realize, all the posters in the kopitiams, they all look the same.
You mentioned that Japan has like better food and all. So what was your ultimate comfort food when you're facing creative burnout or you're struggling through?
We call it Kombini.
Yeah, the Kombini.
The Kombini desserts are always the first thing that gets to me.
7-Eleven for sandwiches, Lawson for desserts.
Yes,
yeah, Family
yes,
Mart
yes.
for family chicky.
Yes.
Is that true?
I have a different concoction for that.
Let's go.
Okay. 7-Eleven for bentos, like food, dinner, food kind of thing. Desserts, I would choose 7-Eleven too.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And for chicken, I prefer Lawson.
What? Blasphemy.
Family Mart is more for hash browns.
Okay, you still show some love to like for Family Mart. What is the one thing you felt like you gotten like truly right?
Truly right. It's just to follow your passion. Yeah, that one thing.
Is it like keeping true to your style and like, your voice?
Keeping true to your style and be just honest on what you want to say.
Even the financial struggles or client feedbacks and trends that like, artists are doing, like how important is it to make sure that your voice is not affected by all of these?
I don't look at what people is doing. No, seriously. Like there was a period of time, like I kept doom scrolling Instagram on like, fellow creatives, what they're doing, people with creatives with more followers. And I realized that it was just like a downhill, like you just feel depressed and you feel like maybe I should do something like them so that I can get like the eco success. But then again, it's not something you will be happy doing it.
Right.
You'll be doing it, like,
Basically following the trends and all that, which is not you.
and I won't feel proud putting it out to everybody to see.
If there's like, you're able to undo a Control Z for one part of your career, like what would it be? What one moment that you want to redo?
No, there's no part of my life that I want to redo. I think it's pretty straightforward. Like what I chose, I did walk the path that I chose. I'm not the most easy kid in the family. Like I was the stubborn one. So there's not much regrets in my life, honestly.
Can you describe your artistic style in just about like 3 words?
Fun, easy, bright.
We are constantly sold a romantic dream. Quit your job, move overseas, and everything will be perfect. Oh, Janelle stripped away the rose-tinted glasses today and give us the real masterclass in creative survival. The day job isn't a prison. It's the funding for your freedom. If you're listening to this on your commute to a 9 to 5, remember that those 8 hours are buying you the right to say no to the things that don't serve your passion. A massive thank you to Janelle for her raw honesty. If you got value out of this episode, smash the like button, subscribe to the click, and let us know in the comments what you are building after 5 p.m. I'm Adam. I will catch you in the next episode.